Oh, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Pinhole Quilting. I apologise, we're a little bit late this morning. Actually, we do tend to be a little bit late. There is so much, I've got to say, there is a lot more to organise than we always realise. And I'm Liz, my husband Pete is behind the camera, and we're Pinhole Quilting. Welcome to our showroom, which is not quite as full as Long Arms as it was last week. And that's because this week we have how many pallets? I don't know how many pallets, but it's been a lot.
It's about 6, I think.
Well, at least 6 have been going out, and I've also delivered a machine as well to our most local customers. So congratulations, Anne. You're the most local 8-minute drive, closer than the co-op, to Anne, who's just our most local customer, who's just had one of our pre-loved Sweet 16s. So I delivered that on Friday. So congratulations, Anne, who is the sister of Pauline, who works here at Pinhole Quilting. And we're delighted that she's now a Handy Quilter owner as well. So Anne and Pauline will be busy quilting away for some of the charity quilts, and they're also part of the local Pershore group. So fantastic. We've got rid of some of those long arms to our customers who will be using them. And that's what it's about. It's about the quilting. And we're very happy that those long arms that have been used by other people are now going to be used by quilters in earnest. So some of those customers that have been receiving them, congratulations. We look forward to seeing you at our workshops that are being run in either March or May. The May workshops that are coming up, they will be posted on our website very soon, but I haven't posted them yet. So look out for those. I'll be announcing the dates in the May workshops by email. So you'll get an email about those. You'll have a code. If you've got one of our pre-loved or one of our new machines, you'll have a code that you can use that discounts the cost to 0. Any of that information in terms of workshops and all of the things, we stay in touch with you by email. So if you're watching this on YouTube or on Facebook, make sure that you're on our email newsletter. And talking about subscriptions, we're very close, really close, unbelievably close actually, to our 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And that is critical. So if you're not a subscriber on our YouTube channel yet, I would encourage you to become a subscriber, because once we're at 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, it makes a big difference to what we can do on YouTube. So please do subscribe. That would be great. Anyway, we've had a very busy week, so we've not actually got to being able to put online the threads that we mentioned to you last week, for which we do apologize. It was our intention to get all those threads up, and it's not a small job to get them up. So we've been getting out the long arms, which was obviously our priority, to get those up. So as soon as we've got the threads up, we'll let you know by email that they're all up online. We did get online that lovely oil pen and the brush. That was very easy. Those are just 2 little products. The others are much more complex. So we're going to get our new operations manager, Mark, doing our website as well. He's going to be putting the threads up because we're busy with a couple of things. We've got Duxford, and we've got another event that we're doing on Tuesday. So we've got a busy week. But we've got the oil pen, which is going to give you a nice little drop of oil dispensed nice and accurately. For our Handy Quilter owners, that drop of oil is every single bobbin change. So for part of your maintenance, have a look at our YouTube channel where we've got a nice little video on maintenance, and you'll make sure that you do that every time that you change your bobbin. It will keep your machine in tip-top working order, as well as a service every couple of years is what we recommend. Anyway, are we online, Peter? Is anybody?
We are definitely online.
Touching.
But Facebook is not playing ball this morning. It's only allowing me to see about 5 comments, the most recent comments, and I can't.
Don't we just love Facebook? It's one of the reasons why sometimes we're late is actually not us, it's Facebook.
It seems to change every week.
It might just because we're over 50, Pete. Only just over 50, obviously. So, right. I'm just going to try and put this back because I've just touched it. Also, our mics. My mic last week wasn't very good, was it? Hopefully everybody can hear me. Well, that's a matter of opinion, of course. You might not want to hear me. You might want just to hear Peter. We've got some lovely, actually we've got another machine that's just come online. And if you've got our newsletter that I only just sent out, there are lots of reasons why I didn't I wasn't quite on the ball this morning. But the capri that's on the header of the email newsletter is a beautiful capri. And honestly, this is, if you would like a sit-down machine, if you're thinking about a Sweet 16, honestly, come along for a demo. It is priced really, really well. And the first person who comes along and tries that out is going to absolutely love it. It is priced just under $6,000. It comes with the side table. And so it's going to be an absolute, it really is a very, very good deal. It's a fast machine. The Capri is an 18-inch long arm. So it's got that extra 2 inches of throat space, which honestly, when you're doing a big quilt, does make a difference. You okay, Pete?
Yeah, somebody said the sound has gone completely. Has anybody else got that problem?
That can sometimes be a local person.
Nobody else has mentioned it as far as I can see.
Oh, gosh.
And thank you, Kelly, for signing up on YouTube.
Fantastic. Thank you, Kelly. The thing about the Capri is it's very much that sort of sturdy machine on an insight table. And it's an absolutely beautiful, very, very low stitch count machine. And it's $5,995. It's priced below the price of a new Sweet 16.
It's a bargain, it really is.
We're going to say it is a bargain.
Okay, sound seems to be fine for most people, so I don't know what that problem was.
It always makes me concerned when someone says a sound, because I'm just talking. That was me just imitating you not being able to hear me. Right, we're going to crack on with some demonstrations, because we've got one of our second user, pre-loved, Simply 16s is here. This 16-inch throat space, movable machine, the Simply 16. Can you tell us about this machine, Pete?
I can, yeah. This is one of our second user machines. As Liz said, we've got rid of a lot of the second user machines. We've still got a few here. This one is a 2017 Simply 16. It's got less than 3 million stitches, so it's just about running. Yeah,
that's a nice number to kind of make it a lovely run-in machine.
It's got a 2-year warranty. It's got a quilt from the back kit and a ruler base.
Great.
We include, of course, our foundation training course for free for the purchaser, and with a new little foot frame, this is $5,250.
$5,250 with all of those accessories. So this would basically be, would have everything on there that would get you started for quilting from the back, free motion quilting from the front, and ruler work. So, I mean, this gives you a huge number of options. Now, what we wanted to demonstrate today, because we got a special offer on the Fullline stencils, I wanted to demonstrate to you the Fullline stencils, but also we've got back in stock something that was very difficult for us to get during the lockdown and the impacts that there were on global I think it was impacts on global shipping or availability of something for our supplier. So the metallic threads, I'm just going to show you these beautiful metallic threads. These are it's got a core of rayon, which makes it nice and pliable. This is a thread called Glisten, which is made by the same company that you get lovely glide thread from, very, very popular thread. And it's a lovely, pliable, metallic thread.
Can't see the individual thread, Liz. Let's just have a look at the spool.
Well, that's because my hand was all over it,
No.
Okay.
It's just too fine. So what colour is this one?
Yeah, this is, do they still do this one? Carnation. Well, I'm showing one.
Yes. All the ones here on new ones, unless you've got that from your old sample box.
I've got this from my old sample box.
That's not a current colour then.
Okay, that's not a current colour. This is a lovely colour that this is very similar to the current colours. What are the chances? What are the chances, Pete, that I would pick out of my old sample box? Okay. Is it the same?
It's very, very similar to this one that's called. Oh look, it's very. This one's Blush. The new name is Blush.
This is really similar.
It's slightly different, but very, very similar.
You're not going to be able to tell on Facebook. That's okay. We'll use my sample. We put that one away. Okay. I'm going to use my sample. This is the same thread, pretty much. It's my colour, just to show you what it's like. But we're going to sew with one of the golds on the Simply 16. This is a lovely new one that they've come out with called Rainbow, and it's quite similar to one that they had last time. Oops, just dropped that. Which is gorgeous. And so it's a variegated, and it will sew differently to what you can see on here. So we'll have a go with that in a moment. But I'm going to sew with the gold. I've got it set up, and I wanted to show you. A lot of people when they come on our foundation workshop are very concerned about metallics, and when you go to a quilt show, you see all these beautiful metallics, and you think, oh, nice metallics. And then you get them home, and they're just horrible. And they're horrible for a number of reasons. Mostly it's because you don't know how to sew with them. But I did a quilt back in, gosh, I'm thinking how long ago. Olivia now is 25, 24, something like that. I did a quilt for my niece when she was, for her second or third birthday, for when she was grown up. And it was a big quilt, and I did a satin stitch around stars and moons. And I tried 3 or 4 different manufacturers, and I learned which ones not to ever use again. So this is how you learn, isn't it? You learn what not to use by actually trial and error. But for many people, you just feel like ditching the sewing machine when you have a bad experience, or ditching the thread. But the key thing here is that we have long arms, which are very, very tolerant of thread if you know how to use them. So I did this sample piece. My punk chick is actually, because I hardly ever do something just for fun, really. I'm always experimenting and using it for a reason. So my punk chick has got in it superior metallic. I'm just going to read out the metallics. It's got wonderful spotlight metallic, YLI metallic, Gutermann sulky sliver, YLI kaleidoscope, and signature laser bright. So this chain of my punk chick is a superior metallic. Up here I've got sulky sliver. I've got a wonderful rayon with a metallic in it, in his tail here. Down here I've got a wonderful metallic, for example. So these are all, these are difficult threads potentially to use. And by the way, on the back, in the bobbin, I just used the same bobbin fill, which is Wonderfil 80 weight, which we use in the bobbin that I've got on the machine today. So you'll see that this is, I did a test piece of the whole thing of this, just to make sure that I was happy with it. And if you look on the back, don't look at the photo of me. That's me, not my weekend look, my punk chick. And the only reason that this came through is because I'm literally overstitching. But all of this otherwise is just absolutely fine.
Everybody's going to want to see the picture now, Liz. You've tempted them. Look, this is Liz.
This is
some time ago.
You should have seen Pete.
This is not her real hair.
That's my Tina Turner wig. Pete had a red Mohican with a nose ring and a stud
collar. Yeah,
collar.
Like all good punks.
Honestly, Pete and I were the first on the dance floor and the last off it that night. It was his son's 18th. It was very funny. Right, so using metallics, that's how long ago it was. He's now 35 or something. Using metallic thread is a question of understanding of the machine and threading up. So I would start with an 18 needle, and that's what I've put on our website for the recommendation of what to use with this Glisten thread. And I would normally just put it through the one hole of your pre-tensioner. So start with that. Let's have a look at what happened when I threaded it up. So Pete, if you could move the camera over here, let's just see how we thread it up. So here's my Glisten starting at the back. Okay, for a start, I'm using a thread net. So I've got my thread net to stop it puddling or pooling and coming down. I've taken the thread net and I've actually put it so that the thread net, it's sitting on the thread net. Do you see? Okay, now that's fallen a bit down, but I have it set up so that the cone sits on the thread net. So try and make it long enough that it sits like that. I just find that that makes it a little better. Okay, then that's going to hold and provide a little bit of tension on the thread so that it doesn't end up with a problem. The problem that can occur, and this is the same with invisible thread as well, or any difficult threads, is that that thread will just sink to the bottom and end up puddling and end up going around onto the spindle of the cone holder, and it'll lock and break the thread. So then it comes up here, through here. This is your pre-tensioner, and I just put it through the top one, and then you've got the one just above here. Always make sure it is nicely flossed through your tension discs, just as normal. If you've been using Glide previously, it is not obvious whether you increase or decrease the tension for metallic. Surprisingly, a metallic can be very slick. You might actually increase the tension. You test your tension, so you're going to be doing that, and it can be I'm just going to say it can be counterintuitive.
So Helen says that she has sometimes used the horizontal spool pin for glide thread quite successfully.
Yeah.
And we should listen to Helen because she's a top quilter. Her post that we put online last week, the last time I looked, it had over 12,000 views, Helen, and some very favourable comments from some top international quilters. It really was a superb quilt.
It was. I saw there was some really fantastic comments. There were at least 4 Handy Quilt ambassadors had commented, Helen. You see? Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Pete, let's just have a look as well. So I've got an 18 needle. I always obviously test stitch. Have a look. If I loosen this off, just have a look at my first stitching. I had tested it. So it
looked okay on the top.
It looked okay on the top. Looks okay on the top. Have a look at the bottom. Nightmare. But this is okay. Do not worry. Do not fret. Do not be afraid. We're going to sort it out. So that is because of what? Okay. What do you think I did? I tightened the top tension. That's all I did. And within that amount, I tightened that top tension. Tightened. Who would have thought it? Who would have thought it? Tightened the top tension, and then I was happy days. Once I tightened that top tension, of course, I did a bit more. Had another look. Had another look. There we go. There's my other look. I tightened it a little bit more because it was still a little bit too loose. It was showing, and I can even run without even turning it over. Use your fingernail. If I tighten this up, I'll tell you what I do. Run your fingernail on the underside. You can actually feel the metallic thread, and it makes a kind of scratchy noise, because with metallic it's actually got that, it'll make a noise. Okay, so on the underside, if that's coming through, you're going to hear that. So you can actually feel that metallic thread coming through. You don't want to feel it, so just tighten it by maybe a quarter turn, refine it until you're happy. And then happy days. And now we're quilting. So now we can do our whatever. Not sure that my quilting's up to it. We're doing fine. Now I'm thinking, oh, it's live. There we go. So this is, I'll just finish. There we go. And that's lovely. I mean, that's sewing beautifully. That's 11 stitches per inch on the Simply 16. That's in cruise with a small amount of cruise. I'd probably up that a bit actually. But I mean, that would be my kind of normal crew setting for a bit of free motion.
Yeah,
So,
Lindsay, there are a number of systems available using a camera under the quilt. The only handy quilter machine with that is the Infinity. I don't know how many people would actually use it in real life, though. It's not as easy necessarily to use as you would think.
I've used it. I've used it. I've used it with ProStitcher. I quite like it. I know not everybody does, but I do.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan personally.
I quite like it.
Okay.
I've got to say, I found it useful for doing, you know, on edge to edge, just checking it every now and then. So that is the Simply 16. We've got a couple of these. You can arrange a test drive with us. We've also got the Capri. We have got some people who are coming for test drives on those things, but it is, you know, we are arranging them for when we're back from the Duxford Quilt Show, which we will be at from the 4th to the 6th of March at the Imperial War Museum at Cambridgeshire. And we're taking along Infinity, Amara, the Moxie. We are due, am I going to say?
Yes.
Yeah. We're finally. It's taken a little while longer, a week longer than we expected. But the Moxie, we should have ProStitcher Lite at the Duxford Show.
Next week.
Next week. So if you're coming to the show and you have a Moxie, or you're thinking about getting a Moxie, and you're thinking about ProStitcher, come along. We will have freshly installed it. So that will be exciting.
So Joyce in the States has an Infinity and she says she never uses the camera.
No. Okay.
It's like many of these things. Some people will like it, some people won't use it.
Yeah. What I find is that when it's set up, because it's based on the focus length away from the quilt, what I end up doing is just either putting my hand down on the quilt until it's in focus. That's what I found I have to do. And
welcome to, I think it was Caroline from Australia.
Oh,
not
hi,
sure
Caroline.
We've seen you on before, Caroline.
Great. So, Fullline stencils. We love the Fullline stencils. We find that they have a great combination of the fact that they're nice and pliable and easy to store and use. We use them with Pounce, the Pounce chalk, which comes in the one that you can iron off, which is the white, and the barely blue, and the blue that you need to, what do we do with that? Wash away. And the nice thing about them as well, if there's a crease in them with a coolish iron, you can actually iron that away. That needs an iron on it. I didn't set up the iron actually. You've got some that are structural. For example, this one, we could use that as the base, perhaps for a block design. And then we've got ones like this, and I'll show you how we use those in just a second. These are very good for things like the checkerboard that I've got here, just down here, where you might sort of scribble and knock back every alternating block. What's that, Pete?
Hello, Maya. Maya's from Melbourne in Australia. She's often with us.
Oh, yes.
So we've got a few people, as usual,
nice.
from overseas. I've seen a few people from the States.
That's great.
Susie, the show in Cambridgeshire is at the Duxford Imperial War Museum, which is south of Cambridge, just off the M11. So it's easy to get to if you come from the M25 direction. And the show is on Friday, Saturday, Sunday next week.
It is. And I think you can buy tickets at the door, but also on our website, on our shows and events page, you'll find all the details and a link to the organisers' website.
And it's going to be really nice to get to a show which I think will feel like the first normal show post-COVID, actually.
Yeah, it really will.
Because we've done a few shows, including Festival of Quilts last year, but it was very bizarre. Not so many visitors as normal, not so many exhibitors as normal. Yeah,
there's some really nice exhibitions. So there's an exhibition by Cabot Quilters, who I know really well, and also Joy from Pastors New Quilting, who I also know very well. So there'll be some lovely quilts on display, really worth, and some others as well. So this structural one here, is what I use to do this. So where you want something to be equidistant, perhaps for a border, you would mark something like this, and then you would do these at equidistant. So you don't have to do anything other than just mark this, and away you go. So that enables you to equally space for a border. Okay, this one is what I use for this. This is an Anne Bright design. That's a lovely design. Kind of like I love it because it's kind of got this lovely sort of wind feel to it. And you get these marks for alignment. So when you put it down, and it would be this way up, wouldn't it? That's it, like that. Is that like that? Upside down. I'm going to get it the right way around in a second. Is that it? How many ways round would it be possible to do this, do you think?
4.
Inside out, upside down, that way round. Okay, there's 6. It's like, do you know, we were discussing this with Art, weren't we? That with a USB port, there are actually 3 ways. 3 ways that you can put it before you get it up the right way. Oh, it's that. I'll tell you what it is. It's because I did it that way around. There you go. It's there. That's so funny. Right, so this alignment thing here, when I chalked it like that, and then you move along, and then you move that to there, so that you can match it, etc.
So this is a really effective system with those little markers here. It means that you don't have to have the quilt from the back kit in order to do a nice edge-to-edge design. Yeah. You can do the same with these stencils. I'm
going to demo it with the pounce in a second. That was really funny, wasn't it? It's like, which way around did I do that? Okay, yes. The tiger stripes is absolutely great. I love this one. Tiger stripes looks amazing because it sort of creates this really dimensional effect. And this one is definitely easy to align. And also, nobody's going to know if you've got it right or wrong because it isn't absolutely precise anyway. So tiger stripes is fun, and then down here I've got to finish this off. And then my binding fairy, who we'll be seeing very, very soon. Can't wait to see you, Carolyn. My binding fairy. I'm hoping my binding fairy, hi Carolyn, is going to do this one while we're doing your machine.
Not sure if I've seen Carolyn online this morning.
Oh no, she might. Oh, yeah, was she doing something?
But then I couldn't.
She was doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jenny, yes, your Amara is on the pallet, packed and ready to be collected on Monday to send to you next week, and then we will see you a week on Monday to install it.
That is very exciting. Okay. Should we do the tiger stripe? Let's do the tiger stripe.
You're going to do the large tiger stripe or the small tiger stripe?
I think I'll do the large one. I do like the large one.
Good. So Elizabeth's coming to the show at Duxford as well, as you usually do.
Well, it's not so far, is it? Whereas we were discussing the difficulties of getting here for her. I'm presuming that says done.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. In fact, I did look at the difficulties of the journey, and I decided not to email you back, Elizabeth, because I saw how long it was going to take. So what you want to do is just check that you can actually do this once you've moved on. So don't go and put it like that, obviously. So, get your foot there and then make sure that you can do the full extent. Okay. And then what we do is with pounce, you actually more wipe over rather than pounce and hold it down. Like so.
You're right, Jo. You could certainly add a tail and some fins and make that into a fish. That would be great.
You could, and you might want to put like a reference for some of it, depending on if you've got anything on your quilt. Obviously, you might have a reference anyway. So, for example, you might have lines of a block or lines of sashing that you would use. Obviously, we've just got complete free form here, so I've got nothing for reference other than Pete's done a channel lock here. I could have used that, couldn't I?
Of course.
I could have done that, but I haven't. So then we do that one, and I normally hold that like that. There we go. Just making sure it looks square. Okay. And we can do the one underneath in a bit. So the one underneath, you've already got that reference then.
So just show that, Liz. Yeah, so we've got the reference mark from the the previous one.
Yeah.
And we can
so
align
I think
that
we can line that up with that, can't we?
with the bottom row, yes.
I think we can. Or would we do it like that? I think we just do it separately because actually you need to bed it in. Yeah, no, you'd bed it into that. I wouldn't do it like that. I'd bed it into its own.
Okay.
Yeah.
With some of the designs, you can use that for marking the second row.
Yeah, they haven't done it like that on this one. No, they haven't. I don't think they have. No, they haven't. So with this one, you just do it like that. I would eyeball that, and then once I've stitched that, I'd do the next row. Okay, because actually, I tell you what that is. That's off the small one. It's nothing to do with this. They could have done that actually, Pete, if they'd thought through that one. I don't think they did. So we will do a metallic.
So while you're stitching that, Liz, I'm not sure it's very easy to hear you when you're actually stitching. So I'm going to go and show some of the stencils.
Okay.
So we've got a huge number of designs of these full-line stencils. Many of them, or most of them in fact, are the large size that Liz is just using on tiger stripes. Some of them are half-sized with different designs. But we've got a very big display of dozens, literally, of different designs for you to choose from. Some of them are borders designs, some are structural, some are edge to edge. But they've been really good sellers since we started stocking them a year ago. I'm going to just go over here as well and just show you the Glisten thread that Liz talked about earlier. So this is our Glisten thread. We've got some lovely colours here just to go through these. We've got, in order, we've got blush, bright gold, champagne, that's a nice colour, cherry, copper. We've got deep silver, gold, jungle, light gold, magenta, Pacific, pure silver, rainbows, spectre, sunray, and Tudor gold. So we're really happy to have those back in stock, along with all of our other normal glide threads, of course. So Rosemary, we are planning to take some of the stock items to Duxford. We won't be able to take all of our stock. There just isn't room to set everything up and transport it all in one go. So if there's anything specific that you would like us to take, please just drop us an email. It's a really nice flowing design, this one too. Great fun. Yeah, somebody said, I guess you could use the small design for your second row, Liz. Does that interlock, I wonder?
I don't think so.
We'll have a look.
Yeah, we can do that.
But as with all such designs, it's not critical that you absolutely hit the line. It's there as a guide. It's more important
I'm really glad you said that.
for you to have a smooth stitching effect.
The other thing, do needle down. Yeah, and the other thing is to stop, reposition, get comfortable, and don't overstretch as well. again, just moving on.
So a question here from Karen, Liz.
Yeah.
Karen's one of our newest customers who's just got a Moxie in the last 7 days.
Oh, yes.
She's asking, and your first piece looked very impressive, Karen, I have to say. We've got high expectations for what you're going to produce.
Yeah, you've set a high bar.
Can you use machine embroidery thread on a long arm?
So it depends, is the answer, because machine embroidery thread tends to be what we call non-structural. So by that I mean that the thread itself, for example, rayon is made of short staple fibers, which aren't intended to hold the quilt together. So the reason that we use cotton and the reason we use polyester is because it is more used as a structural thread, which has long staples. The idea being that when you are effectively holding a quilt together, that you are holding all those layers together. It might be put through a machine, it might be quilted and then used multiple times and washed. Whereas a rayon thread is used for surface design and texture and not for structural purposes. So if you are using a something like a rayon thread or something that's got short staples, you might find that your quilt falls apart.
And more to the point, you'll probably find that it breaks a lot if you do try to use it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because the tension is always on the long arm machine.
Correct. It would be more over time that I would expect it to do that. So the point about the glide thread, and one of the things that you'll find perhaps on the glide shade card is that the benefit of a trilobal polyester is that we get the fantastic luminosity and vibrance of a rayon, but the strength of polyester. So what you've got in your rayon threads that you've got with an embroidery machine is beautiful, beautiful luminosity and depth of color that we didn't used to get from cotton because they're kind of flat. And whereas we've got with glide thread, the beautiful rayon look, but it's a structural thread.
So with trilobal, that means it's made of 3 strands that are twisted together to make the final thread. So polyester is generally okay, Karen. It's stronger than rayon, which is a natural fibre.
Exactly. And if you want to get more into this, there's a lot of information online. And I know, there are the sort of purists who say cotton with cotton and all that kind of thing. But you can, honestly, if you want to get into that, there's a whole load of information. One of my old blog posts that you can find by searching, I can send you the link if you wish. Just send me an email if you want to find out more information about that. And I can tell you a whole load of information. I know quite a lot about thread, and I'm very happy to share it with you, and I can repost that blog post as a Facebook link if anybody else is interested. Okay.
Good.
Oh, we'll tell you more about that on our foundation workshops too. There we go. That's 2 out of 3.
Looking good.
Yep.
You can do the final one.
Yep.
So I didn't mention it earlier, but for anybody who might be interested in this Simply 16 second user, it can also be paired with a loft frame. So if you have the space for an 8-foot loft frame, then you can avoid the need to baste, which you generally need to do with the little foot frame.
I just mark up this second row just so you can see how that one would go. Yeah?
Oh, that's a good point from Rosemary. And Rosemary is very creative with her use of threads and things. Rosemary's been using double threads, and sometimes it's possible to support your favourite thread with a trilobal at the same time.
Oh, that's a really good point, Rosemary.
That's an excellent idea. So you can, Karen, use 2 threads at the same time, one to get the effect and one to be a carrier and for the strength. So
that's a really nice thing to do. Oh, let me just show you what happens if you get it wrong. And Rosemary, I had a lovely mix. In fact, it's over there, of a wool with a cotton. So if I get it wrong, I just use either a microfiber cloth, and that, by the way, will just now go away like this. And if I get it wrong, I can just do that. So I'm just looking to center, that's the center, yes. So I just want to center that to that. I don't have to go too close. Something like that would be good. I mean, I would mark the centers if I was being more careful.
So yes, Rosemary, we hope to see you at Duxford too.
Oh,
and
yes.
of course,
That would be lovely.
Vendulka from Olive N will be there with a stand as well, who was the winner of the Best in Show at Festival of Quilts last year and now owns a handy quarter Amara.
Yeah, fantastic. We're really looking forward to seeing Vendulka and and discussing some possibilities for future training with Vendulka. That's going to be very exciting. There we go. How's that? There's the next row, quickly marked. So you can do it on a frame system whilst it's on. You don't have to do it in advance. So now I'd finish this row and there's my second row, all ready to go. Perfect.
And this white pounce chalk can be ironed off as well.
Yes, absolutely. So brush it off or iron it off. The blue can be brushed off or you can wash it away.
Don't iron it.
Don't iron it.
Not the blue.
No, I'm going to be doing some testing actually on some of the recommendations. If in the unfortunate event that the worst case scenario happens and you happen to iron on the blue, I've got the ways that the manufacturer recommends getting rid of the blue if you make a mistake. I haven't done that yet. What were we going to tell? So we're going to talk about today. Oh, special offer. How can I forget? The special offer on the Fullline stencils we have, because it's our 5th anniversary and we're celebrating 5 years of Pinhole Quilting, we've got 15% off during March, but starting today, off the Fullline stencils. So I'll be putting that up and it'll be going live by 1 o'clock. I'm going to give myself a little tight timescale. So 15% off Fullline stencils throughout March until the 31st of March. So grab yourself a bargain on these Fullline stencils.
And the discount on the Cindy Needham stencils runs until the end of February, so that is still on for another couple of days yet.
Yes, so make the most of that deal as well. So 2 deals running concurrently, but one finishes on the 28th of February. That's the Cindy Needham, and we'll be doing some classes and stuff on that. So if you're thinking about doing any classes on Cindy Needham, definitely make the most of that. Anything else, Pete? Apart from Duxford, apart from that, saddle stools. We got some stock in of saddle stools because the 1st of March the prices will be going up. But whilst we've got some stock in, that stock is going to be at current price, is it? Or
yes, yes.
Yeah. So whilst we've got the stock in, we've got all of the current saddle stools. We're holding that prices while stocks last, and we've got. Shall I mention the colours we've got? Or no, just contact us or place an order.
Yes, generally we bought in seats which are black. They're the ones that the supplier has most stock of in any case. The seat back on any of the options is always black in any case.
That's true.
So we've got a purple seat here with a black
We've
backrest.
got a purple, and we've actually, we've got mostly black, and we've got the seat rests, and we've got the small one without the foot ring, and we've got this design in black as well. So those are all in stock. We can ship directly from here. We thought we'd preempt the price rise for you. So if you're thinking about getting one, and if you're coming to a class on the Foundation Workshop and you want to try one out, definitely try them while you're here, because it's really difficult for us to say which one is best for you, because quite honestly, everybody's different. You know, what's convenient and what's convenient, what's comfortable for you is not necessarily comfortable for somebody else. And obviously people's size in terms of height and everything varies too. Plus, if someone's using a pro stitcher, you need to be able to see the screen. So that also makes a difference. I think that's everything. Pro Stitcher Lite at Duxford, that's the first place we'll be demoing it. But then after that, if you've got a Moxie and you're thinking about getting a Pro Stitcher, we'll be demoing it at the showroom after that. So that's pretty exciting. So the other show that we'll be demoing it after Duxford will be the Malvern Quilt Show in May. We will be there. We'll have a much bigger stand right by the old entrance. So when you walk in the new entrance, we'll be on the left. Much bigger stand. Very excited about that. And Pete, anything else?
I think that's it.
He thinks it's it. I think it's it. So
I will indeed try to take Glisten to the show at Duxford.
Oh, yes.
It's quite a small amount of stock, so we can take
true.
that.
And we're going to take some glide thread as well, aren't we? A little bit of glide thread.
Yes.
Yeah, but if you wanted to place an order for specific things, we don't take much miscellaneous. So if you do want us to take stuff, please send us an email by Monday, Tuesday.
By Tuesday. Close of business Tuesday.
Yeah,
I can still manage to get it on the van.
Yeah, because we pack up like Wednesday morning latest.
Yep.
I know the show doesn't start till Friday, but we have to get there. We have to pack, we have to get there. So yeah, do that. That'd be great. We look forward to seeing you. Thanks to everybody for popping in, wherever you are in the world. Have a safe day and happy quilting. See you next week. We'll be doing a little Facebook Live at some point in the Duxford show. So look out for us. If it pops up and says, Pinhole Quilting, Facebook Live, just say, watch us, because we're going to be doing a little demo from wherever we are. It might be Vandulka doing a live demo on the Amara. Who knows? We're going to ask her. So we look forward to seeing you then. Have a great weekend, everybody. Take care. Bye.